Hey, BookTube. I wanted to do a little video about Twin Peaks: The Final Dossier that came out on Halloween. I haven't had a chance to pick up the actual hard copy of the book, but I got the ebook and basically read it in one evening. For like spoiler purposes, I would say, oh, hey, Fred. I would say that it's, hey, buddy, what's going on? That it's a definite buy. Like, pick it up. It's, if you're a fan of Twin Peaks, this is really good. But it does spoil some stuff from the last season of Twin Peaks that just ended. So if you haven't watched that yet, you might want to. So the rest of this isn't going to be spoilers necessarily, but there will be some spoiler-ish things that I'm going to say. So basically, if you recall, what was it called? I can't remember what the first book was called. It was I don't know, the Twin Peaks book that Mark Frost put out about 6 months or so before the show started. That left almost more questions than answers. And when the third season came on, it didn't really answer a lot of the questions that were posed in the first book. But I just noticed that every time I do that, the screen freaks. Sorry. But that book, it's an epistolary novel, and it's a bunch of different documents, and our two narrators of that is the archivist and Tamara Preston. Now, in this, and then we meet Tamara in the third season of the show, and this book, The Final Dossier, is The Secret History of Twin Peaks was that first book. Anyway, this book is basically told by Tamara Preston as well. Now, like, as she's writing it, it takes place in like, she's putting these documents together in September of 2017, and the events of the show of the last season have already happened. So that's why I would say you would need to watch the show, because the big climax of the show is mentioned in the book, and then they try to put some kind of they try to make sense of the very odd ending, but just barely. But what the book does is kind of what I think everybody wanted the third season of Twin Peaks to be, which is it explains pretty much everything that happened from the time the original show ended to present day. So we find out about what happened to Leo. We find out more about Audrey. Not enough to where I'm okay with it, but we do find more out about Audrey. Shelley, Bobby, the cast's children who like just kind of showed up in this last season. We find out what happened to Donna. There are a lot of inconsistencies in the secret history of Twin Peaks, which are explained in the final dossier. And the explanations for a lot of the stuff I thought was pretty fucking weak. So it makes me almost think that the mistakes that were in the secret history were actually mistakes, or just there to lead you into a direction of, or just to lead you into misdirection, so that, so that you would think the upcoming show would be more interesting or whatever. But it answered almost every question that I had, and it really just showed me how much I was kind of disappointed by the last season of Twin Peaks, because that's really what I wanted. And here's some more spoilers, I guess, because even though it took like 17 episodes or whatever to get Agent Cooper to be Agent Cooper again, we all knew he would end up being Agent Cooper again. So the fact that we had this really, really long, drawn out series of events that would take us to an end that everyone already knew was going to be, to me, was a lot less fulfilling than knowing what happened to all of the beloved characters of the show on the in-between time. So with that being said, it's a definite buy. Pick it up. The ebook does have a lot of pictures and stuff in it. I don't know if it has as many as the actual book, but I know the Secret History of Twin Peaks had a ton of cool stuff in it. And so I'm sure that there's probably some pretty cool stuff in this one too. But it's a much faster read than Secret History. So with that being said, if you like Twin Peaks, pick it up. It's definitely worth it.